Hello. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hope everybody's doing well. Today in the Oasis Springs venue redos, we're on the lounge. And I said in my last video that this world had a bar and a lounge. I thought that was a little bit too much, so I changed the bar to a library, kept the lounge. This is another build. Not unhappy with it, but structurally, I wouldn't call it sound. I know that they use thick metal sheeting to do this, but I thought I would add just a few elements to it to make my mind a little bit more at ease. I don't know. I don't think there are earthquakes in the desert southwest, but you never know. I liked the way they changed the color on the lights. I think that's cool, but I never remember to do it in live mode. So that's my bad. But I think this is a neat looking building, so I kept it as is, with the exception of adding a few more reinforcements on the first floor. The problem was this is a lounge, so you would generally go there after dark. And I'm not sure if readjusting my computer, a couple settings went back to factory, and I haven't been able to get through all of them yet. But my monitor is completely separate from the computer, other than it being plugged in. And it just feels like this world is so dark. So dark. But I even noticed it on a few of the YouTube videos that I watch. I don't think it's my end, I think it's their end. Some videos are normal, some videos are extremely bright, and others are very dark. But this world, especially after dark, it's dark. That sounds horrible. After dark, it's dark. Of course it is. I mean, even with the lights on, it just felt overly dark. And no matter how many lights I added to this place, it didn't seem to be making a difference. And again, I don't know if that's just my system here or if that's the game. So I did try. And I always have to say this. I'm getting a little tired of it. But I have to because it's my fault. There are discrepancies and issues in the build. And I address them before I put them up on the gallery for you to download. If I miss something, it's either I didn't mind it or I didn't see it. And I never really notice it until I'm in edit mode. And then it's like, oh my goodness, why is it like this? So I do go back and I fix what I've seen. If I miss something, I apologize. I put tiki torches on the ground floor. Absolutely forgetting that there's an overhang. So I had to get rid of those. And then I just feel like there's an overabundance of lights because it was too dark. Could be wrong. It could be my computer and not the game itself. I'm not going to apologize for that. I'm just telling you that's why there are so many lights in this particular build. Now, as far as the world goes, I had mentioned in the other two videos of Oasis Springs venues. I don't know why I've never been to this particular area of the world. I have never visited any of these venues. And if you turn around, there is a beautiful lake and a huge waterfall coming down off this rocky, boulderish mountainside with a train trestle right in front of it. It's really cool. I tried to get a shot of it. I probably wasted video doing it. I just think it's gorgeous. It doesn't come out too well though. When you get into the outer edges of the world, everything becomes fuzzy and pixelated, and I apologize. But I just couldn't resist going out there to take a closer look at that waterfall. It was neat. But I never knew it was there until I started working on these venues. And I did say this in my last video, this happens to be my favorite world out of all of them. I adore playing in Oasis Springs, running around in Oasis Springs, living in Oasis Springs. I just think it's beautiful. But there's so much that I haven't seen and haven't done. It's kind of crazy. I made another attempt with platforms in this game, and oh my gosh. I never see any other simmer put down a platform and lose their walls. It only happens to me. If I build a platform on the ground and then try to bring it up, for some reason it just won't work. And if I do plunk it down, the walls still disappear. But I've never noticed that with anybody else's build videos. They just put a platform here, put a platform there, whatever, lift it up, push it down. They do it on the roofs a lot so that you can get the siding, which is cool. I do that once in a while. But I'm so gun shy about platforms that I rarely do that. I just figure in venue types like this, usually a stage is above the audience anyway, and not by one step, but by at least a good 3 feet, I would say, 2 or 3 feet off the ground. I didn't feel like doing that here. I'm sorry. But it didn't matter, because when we go on the walkthrough, you're going to notice everybody's just kind of lolling around. They're not doing anything. They're just doing the sul and waving their arm. I don't know if I made a mistake with the... It's not called a huckster machine. It just says that if you want to gain an audience playing the guitar or the violin, this is the gig for you. Rig for you. It didn't say I couldn't use it indoor, but that might be an issue. Maybe that's why. But no one would play the piano or tell jokes or play any of the instruments, and I was a little sad. I'm not happy with this build, let me tell you, and I don't want to keep calling it a build redesign. It just didn't turn out right. I ran with the red theme. Don't mind that at all. That's one of my favorite colors. But the end result, I was not impressed, so I'm a little sad about that. But I did like that first floor outside. Man, did I doll it up. I went a little crazy with the landscaping and fountains and things like that. But it's tough to see. I think because of the overhang. I think having it underneath the building kind of ruins the effect. First of all, you can't really see it from ground floor. And second of all, like I said, after dark, it's a little impossible to see anything anyway. I'm sorry this is so fuzzy, but that just blew my mind when I saw this. I cannot believe it. I'm like, how come I never knew this was here? I'm discovering so many things about this world, and I thought I knew it all. Hey, I thought I was a genius and like the greatest simmer of all time because I figured out how to get into that grotto. Is that what it's called? The old miners thing? I think if you get your handiness and logic up, you can break away the old miner door that's boarded up. Get in there. See? This is what it looks like at night. And I thought it would be so beautiful and like not in your face lit up, but lit up to the point where, ooh, I want to go under there. I want to check this out. And it is just so dark everywhere. Nothing helped. Even those lights on the floor, all you see are the lights on the floor. You don't see anything around it. And yes, I did replace the tiki torches. Like, yeah, nothing like putting flames right underneath the building. There's a good call. I left the sign too. That's a disappointment with this game. You have venues, but there's only, I think, one true sign, and that's for the gym. Well, there might be one for the library, but you really gotta hunt for it because it's not in build mode items. I suppose if I had done that, live edit objects, I might have found it. I don't know. Doing debug is so time consuming. So yeah, all those flames under the building are no longer there. That was dumb. but I'm not happy with the way it came out. I only like the landscaping. Also, I was a little surprised to notice that this building was on level 1, all 3 heights. 2 heights? 3 heights, wasn't it? 2. Level 1. Usually they always go for 2 or 3. So I think I kept it at 1 here, but I lifted it to 2 on the 2nd floor just so that I could do a little bit more work. It seems like there are a lot more items to use with the level 1 walls, but they're items that I just don't want to use. I think that level 2 and level 3 items are so much more classy. And if you haven't noticed by now, I'm a little hooked on the... What is that pack called with the magic and spell casting? I'm a little hooked on the items from that pack right now. So I apologize if you're seeing too much of it. Again, the layout of this lounge is appealing, in my opinion. But no one's doing anything. Absolutely nothing. And I'm like, well, it's labeled as a lounge. I have all the lounge items required. Well, let me just say that Oasis Springs itself is the strangest world that I have ever worked in so far. Maybe it is the same way in other worlds. And then that stupid roller rink right there in the parking lot kind of ruined my museum aesthetic, but you'll see that tomorrow. So again, I did the 2 bathrooms, gender neutral, nothing fancy. Just made sure to put in some garbage cans. It just doesn't seem like anybody is interested in this place at all. I'm kind of sad about that. And you know what? It's looking like I did leave the walls on level 1. That might be a problem. Maybe I should have raised them. I think I tried and then gave up. But I don't know. What do you think is wrong with this? What did I do wrong that no one's interested in this place? Look how pretty it is out there. I didn't even know that little seating area was out there. And it's all so pretty, so inviting. Other than the tiki torches, I left everything exactly the way you see it. And it only appears when you get right up to it. And that was very disappointing for me. But I really enjoyed putting all these little fountains in. I just thought it gave the place some class. And that could be completely wrong. Just junked it up a little bit more. So there's plenty of seating and things for your sim to do, but nobody seems interested. And yeah, the roof looks green at night, but it's yellow. I wanted to go colorful this time. I didn't mince words with this world, let me tell you. I went a little cuckoo. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. And again, I thank you so much for supporting me and my channel. Sticking with me to the end here. I hope you have a fabulous day as well. Take care of yourselves now. Bye-bye.